Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Beyond Sunday podcast. We're talking about homing pigeons, all kinds of stuff over the past couple of weeks. Hey, we're so glad that you are joining back with us again, and I'm excited to introduce the table to you today. Right to my left, the one who just made the pigeon sound, we got Josh Hensley.
Hello, everybody.
And across from Josh, the one, the only, the greatest communications pastor I know, Justin Eschenbaugh.
Good morning.
And right across from him, directly in front of me, my friend, my neighbor, one of my favorite people on the planet, Miss April Oatts.
Hello, everyone.
It's natural that we have April here.
It is. I feel like she's here to just kind of keep us all in line.
It always, a lot of times, this whole room is filled with gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
We can get out of hand. And it's really good to have a lady in the room just to keep us on track. Yeah. Because we need that sometimes.
I can turn into Corporate April.
You can. I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder if we're going to have Corporate April on the podcast today.
No, that's not the plan.
Friend
You guys stay in line.
See, what I appreciate about April, though, is she can hang with the guys. Like, she can laugh with us. She can joke with us.
I have a lot of years of working with mostly men, so I've just learned to flow with it.
Yeah, so April, just reminding people, you are our missions coordinator,
Yes.
right? That's your
Yes.
official title.
Mm-hmm.
But your other job that you do, that you have to focus on probably a little bit more, is you work for AT&T.
I do, yes. I am in sales for AT&T, supporting the healthcare vertical. So my team and I take care of the hospital companies in Tennessee and Kentucky and try to, make more money for AT&T and make sure that people are taken care of. And it is personal because when you have family members in the hospital or have to go to the doctor yourself, it makes it more relevant what we're doing, that it really matters.
Right.
Lives are impacted, so it makes me feel like our job means something.
You're not just selling a product. You're making these companies successful.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think you do that across the board, and we'll hear more about that today because we're coming into our last week, or coming off of our last week of our No Grow Go series, and the last one is Go. So naturally, we have April here with us today, and going is a big part of the week. Michael's ready. Going's a big part of the week, and we talk about taking the gospel beyond our comfort zones, whether it's here or for April, you're probably with a lot of people around. I mean, we could probably say the world. It takes you to places that you interact with people. But I thought we'd play a little game today because it really just got me thinking.
What are you
did
thinking,
it get you
Josh?
thinking?
Game time.
Game time. So the gospel calls us to go into all the nations, but I want to be honest with you. A couple years ago, actually it's probably been 5 years ago or more, I went to this place called Faroe Islands.
Okay.
Do you guys know where Faroe Islands is?
I don't even know how to spell that.
I signed up for the thing. I signed up for the mission trip without knowing where it was. Island.
You just heard island.
I was like, babe, we gotta go. So Heather and I signed up for this mission trip. I had these visions of it's gonna be wonderful, like sunny weather, like we're gonna spend some time on a beach on this island. Guess what? It wasn't anywhere near the equator, so it was actually further away. It's a Nordic island, so it's even north of where we live. So this is like Greenland, Iceland, Faroe Islands. But a lot of times we step into moments like that, and I've heard some random towns along the way in my life. Anytime you travel, especially you're from Georgia, April. Mm-hmm. We traveled down to Georgia the other day, and there were some town names that were just kind of weird. There's a lot of weird ones down there. And so I just wanted to play a game with you guys today. We're going to call it Passport or Pretend. All right.
Okay.
So this is a list of real and fake places. And so I'm going to name the place, and you're going to tell me whether it's real or fake.
Can I just give a disclaimer before we begin this adventure?
Sure thing.
I am directionally challenged. So if I get like maybe a couple of these right, I'm going to be really impressed with myself.
I need to give a disclaimer as well. If it's north of Kentucky or west of the Mississippi, I probably don't know about it.
Okay.
So
I'm struggling to see north and west in my brain. Let's just get this over with.
All right. So what you're going to do is just tell me if you think this is a fake place or a real place.
All right.
All right. First one. Dusty Sock Flats, Nevada.
that sounds like it could be legit.
We're going with real. I'm just going to go real
Real?
with every single one of them. I'm going real. I'm bound to get a couple right.
That's going to be hard to write, though, on an envelope. Dusty Sock
it
Flats. That's a
dusty?
long.
Dusty Sock Flats.
I don't.
DSF for short.
What do you think, Justin?
When you say DSF, now I feel like it's real. I live in DSF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fake.
All right.
Dang it.
0 for 1. Here we go.
It sounds like deserty and all that.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. All right. Number 2, boring organ.
I think that's real.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's real because you were reading it like you had to double take and read it. I'm going with real.
I mean, I had to read Dusty Sock Flats. Boring organ.
Real.
Oregon
Justin?
is boring. If it originated from anywhere, it's probably there.
Yeah, it's real.
Yep. Good
But
job.
it's not because it's boring. It's because it was named after William H. Boring, a Civil War veteran. But they also have a sister city. This is true. In Scotland, and it's called Dull.
You're making that up.
I'm not. I asked it. It's like, give me a good fact about this. Yeah, they celebrate Boring and Dull Day each.
I love that.
That's not happening around here.
No,
We don't have boring or dull days.
no. We have
Newark
flat
Fellowship.
days, so we could probably sister city it with Dusty Sock Flats. But all right, the next one, Happy Monkey Island, Belize.
Yep. I'm just going yes. Pulling the trigger.
I
No
mean, I've been
hesitation.
to Belize. We did not pass through Happy Monkey Island.
Well, it's an island, so you probably wouldn't.
Right.
pass
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
I think HMI is fake.
Nope.
I'm thinking it's fake.
It's
feeling good about
It's fake. All right. It's a little weird because some of these foreign places, it could be, you know. So the fourth one here is Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Sure. Yes. Passport.
I don't think so.
No.
No. It's real. They renamed themselves after a 1950s radio game called Truth or Consequences.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, Goose Jaw, Montana.
That could be real.
I'm sticking to it. I'm saying yes.
It sounds real. I don't want it to be, though.
It's not. It's fake. Now, there is a Moose Jaw, Canada, but
Okay.
not a Goose Jaw.
they're what-
Not a
okay.
Goose Jaw, Montana.
Okay.
All right. Number 6, Chicken, Alaska. Welcome to Chicken, Alaska.
Are there chickens in Alaska?
Real.
Real.
Nah.
It's real.
I think
I'm losing this
I think I'm
game.
winning.
Michael's going to beat me.
So the population in Chicken, Alaska is about 12. It's a dozen people.
12 chickens in there.
But they host a really festive summer event called Chicken Stock.
With what?
Great.
All
That's
12
true.
of their extended
Chicken stock.
families coming?
The ratio of population to chickens is probably vastly outnumbered. Here's one. Gators Bend, Louisiana.
Oh, that's real for sure.
Real.
That sounds real.
It's fake. You would think it's real. It kind of messes with you, though. All right, number 8, Normal, Illinois.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I've been to Normal, Illinois.
You have?
I have.
Was it boring?
It's actually
No, that's
where Illinois State University is.
Let me ask you guys a question about Illinois because we were driving through there the other day. Is it Cairo or Cairo?
Cairo.
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 Like the syrup.
I went to college with a
Okay.
girl from Cairo.
syrup.
Cairo.
Not like Egypt. Not
Yeah.
Cairo, Egypt.
Okay.
Is that Cairo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Mount Quirkle, Vermont.
What is it?
Mount Quirkle. Quirkle.
Oracle.
You're giggling when you say that.
It's just funny.
I'm going yes. Are we about done with this?
I'm thinking it's
No,
real.
we are not.
I think it's real because you laughed, so you didn't make it up.
I want to go to Mount Corkle.
It's fake. It's
Oh,
sounds like a ski town, but it's not. All right, I'm going to start picking since Michael's getting a little.
I mean, you're winning. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be
I
done?
don't feel
so
like I'm
He
winning.
hates the
I don't feel
games,
like I'm
man.
winning.
He
I do
just-
like the games.
He loses at the games all the time, so he hates them. All right, how about Y Arizona?
Just the
W-
letter.
Like
H-
WHY?
WHY.
Nah.
I'm sticking to it. I'm saying yes.
It's real.
Yes.
It's because
real.
they had two intersections that formed a Y in the middle of the town, and so they just called it Y. All right, here's one close to home: Whistleberry Junction, Kentucky.
Yep.
Have you been there?
I'm just saying yes to all of them.
Oh yeah. Whistleberry Junction.
I've not had the opportunity. It sounds like it could be legit.
No.
It's not. All right, number 12, Accident, Maryland.
Yes.
Yes.
Maryland is an accident.
Sorry, Maryland listeners.
Is it true? Is it yes?
It's real.
Okay.
Okay, good. I was like, did I miss another one?
So the story comes, there were two surveyors, and they accidentally marked the place twice.
I told you.
So the name stuck. All right, Sneezeville, Mississippi.
No.
I'm going yes.
No.
Stay in there.
It's fake.
Right beside Whoville.
Here's a good one. Peculiar, Peculiar, Missouri.
It's real.
Yes.
I mean, I gave it away when I said
You
here's a
did.
good one. The postmaster remarked, that's peculiar, because the residents decided it was a perfect name. They host Peculiar Days, a festival that celebrates their odd name with food, music, and games.
I know some people that would fit in there.
I just thought of another one sitting here.
Oh.
1 second, I'm searching. I'll do the next one while we're searching. Crabapple Hollow, Tennessee.
I think that might be real.
Real.
That's fake.
Michael, you're from Tennessee. You should have known that.
Michael.
I'm going yes on all of them.
Surely you know.
There's no way to know. Humans are so weird with naming things.
All right, next one. No Name, Colorado.
The fact that you had to look it up makes
Yeah.
me think it may be real.
Yeah.
This is not the one I picked or looked up. But I know one. It's going to be real, but I just want to tell you the story about it. All right, go ahead. No Name, Colorado.
Yes.
real.
It's real. The highway planners couldn't agree on a name, so they literally left it as No Name. All right, we're going to turn this podcast to PG-13 here. Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
This editing job is so hard. What do I do in this situation?
I just feel like as a student pastor, I probably shouldn't say anything right now. So I'm going to go.
This one made me laugh out loud. Intercourse, Pennsylvania. It's real, y'all. We're not even going to debate on it, but it's a small Amish town.
No, it is not.
It is. They're famous for handmade quilts, horse and buggy rides, and blooming tourism industry.
All right.
All right, Moose Bucket Falls, Maine.
I just don't know. I don't know, Josh. I'm going to start looking these up as you say them.
Moose Bucket Falls.
That
we about
sounds-
done?
I mean,
Yeah,
that
we are.
sounds
Okay.
real. That sounds real.
Real.
It's
Real.
fake. Sorry. it's
Oh,
fake. All right, this is the one I looked up because
Real.
when I
Real.
when I was dating Heather, they had just maybe the year before gotten back from this festival that her dad wanted to go to. It's called Phil Campbell Days in Franklin County, Alabama. The city's called Phil Campbell. That's her dad's name. And so once a year, everybody whose name is Phil Campbell from all over the world come and meet at Phil Campbell, Alabama.
That's actually really cool.
Isn't it cool?
seriously?
That is cool.
So everybody there was named Phil Campbell.
My maiden name
Their
is
family.
Campbell. I should see if we have a Phil
Yeah.
and make sure he knows about this
So
festival.
Phil
Right.
Campbell was the guy that helped bring the railroad through Alabama in the 1800s.
Okay.
But they meet for Phil Campbell Day. Sadly, Phil Campbell, Alabama, got hit by a tornado in 2011, but they've raised money to rebuild the city.
Okay.
But guys, thanks for playing Pretend or Passport. Passport or Pretend. You guys failed miserably.
Michael's not even excited about his win.
Michael, this is the first time you've won at a game on the podcast.
This is probably the least skilled game. This isn't even a game. This is, hey, flip a coin.
Yeah, I think it just reveals that as humans, we're a little ridiculous at times.
Which state is that in? Ridiculous?
Ridiculous, Kentucky. Renamed Hopkinsville. But let's move on into the message from Sunday. Like I've already said, we've pretty much finished up our membership series with Go. So we've done Know, we've done Grow, and this past Sunday we did Go. Justin and Kevin preached the sermon tag team. And so Justin, you and Kevin kind of dove down into what it looked like to go, but there was also another part that was important in the Go, with the Go.
Yeah, we talked about two things. The first thing we talked about was giving like Jesus, and then the second thing we talked about was going like Jesus. And talking about giving, we talked about how it's kind of what fuels the Go, but it's more than just financial giving. Yes, we are called to financially give, but it's more than that. We're also called to just be generous people with our time and our serving and in other methods as well.
One of the things that I appreciate that Kevin really reiterates, he talks about God being a generous God. And if we want to be like God, we got to be generous in all things. You know, the greatest form of generosity that he gave us was his son, Jesus Christ. He freely gave him. It pained him, but he willingly gave him to us so that he could give his life for our sins. And I think that really feeds in. We culminate in Matthew 28 when Jesus is leaving the earth. The thing that he says, like, I've taught you all these things, you've witnessed all these things, now what?
Go.
And
make.
Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, and that was the second thing we talked about in the message on Sunday was going, and that was my part, where I got to, I guess, share super practical ways that we can go, just tools like the 3 circles and a 15-second testimony. Just something that takes 3.5 minutes to share your faith with someone.
Yeah, I love that we got a little card, like fits perfectly in your Bible. You could probably keep it in your wallet. In a sense, it might get a little wrinkled up, but it's a tool that I think helps those awkward conversations. And you talked about that, Justin, the 90-second awkward conversation that you have with people. And I think it's going to be awkward, but stand firm in knowing God is with you. God goes before you. He starts to work on people's hearts and minds long before you even have the conversation, and even long after. So trust in God in all the things. But I don't want to spend too much time on the sermon from Sunday. It's pretty straightforward. It is a command that God's given us, but I want to press in like we have each week during this series to our special guest. And so, April, you are our special guest. You just happen to be on staff with us, but I think that naturally happened. But I would like to ask you a few questions, and maybe you can give a little insight on what God's done in your life in the realm of missions and how you got to where you are today. So if God leads us all into mission work, April, what was it like transitioning to the missions coordinator here at Newark?
Well, it's been unbelievable and something I never would have imagined. I mean, I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up really just hearing all about missions, GAs, ACT-teens, always going to see, visiting missionaries, going on mission trips as a teenager. Missions was always a part of my life, but I always felt like that's what other people did for a job. And I just prayed for them, supported them, and got to be along the outsides of that, right? And then I did my first introduction to missions at Newark Fellowship. I went on a mission trip to New York in 2021. And
Is that a real place, New York?
it is.
Okay.
It is. We actually went to Hell's Kitchen. I don't know if Hell's Kitchen is a real, like, post office place, but it's in the
Yeah.
middle of Manhattan. So.
Well, I thought you were going to Gordon Ramsay's kitchen.
Oh,
You know, he's got that show.
yeah.
And so
No.
Janie Pitts had to basically inform me that's not it.
No.
That sounds fun.
No, but I did go on that trip. I got to know Janie there, and I still kind of thought, this is great. I love it. Missions for me is doing things in America. I know there are people called to go international, go on foreign mission trips, but that's not necessarily me. And Janie called me and said, "Hey, April, we're going on a trip to Belize. Would love for you to go with me, and let's go check it out and then lead the trip." And I said, "Well, Janie, I really appreciate you thinking about me, but I'm a home missions girl. That's really where I'm called to serve." And then I read the book, John Piper's Don't Waste Your Life. And he was very clear that us limiting what God wants to do in our life is going to be a waste. It's going to be a waste of what he's asked us to do. And at the end of our life, we'll be sorry. So I asked Janie to pray with me about it. I read that book, and then it was like, okay, yeah, Lord, I'm willing to go. And that launched into my, I guess, broadening my view of what missions is. And it also then let me see that I am a missionary, even though that may not be my job. And at the time, I had no idea I would even be a missions coordinator.
Right.
But as a Christian, I am a missionary. We're all called to be that.
Well, I think you bring up an important aspect of following God's call in your life. Already you were directed towards missions. I'm a missions girl. You know, I grew up in a church that really fostered missions, and I think that was a part of your upbringing that shaped who you are today. But also, you started reading some things. You started hearing from different people, and I think that's what God does. A lot of times we may have questions. What are you wanting me to do? Well, you have to open your eyes. You have to realize that God is working in all things around you, and He is giving you direction pretty much in everything. He's either building you up to be a person that steps into the go later, or He's placing people around you that support you in that. And so I think when you bring up, I was reading the book and Janie approached me, those are all like those God nudges, as Kevin talks about, that opportunities come before you. God, teach me how to step into those opportunities. And I'm so appreciative that you gave Belize a chance. And then as Janie stepped out of the missions mobilizer position, like it was just so natural. And because I was on staff, it's like, who's going to take that spot? And it was just so natural for you to step into that, because that is your mindset. That is kind of the focus of how you run your life, not only just church missions, but even in your work. And so talk to me a little bit about how you blend your faith with your AT&T work.
Okay, sure. And just another point about what you were just mentioning about how we have to pay attention and God's building us up. Like, I had been praying for several years about what am I going to do when AJ goes to college? Because I thought, there's going to be such a void there, and I need to be preparing for that void now. I've been praying for several years. What's that going to be? Didn't know what it was going to be. And then Kevin calls, and he's like, "Hey, I got a nudge. Why don't you come work with missions at the church?" And I feel like that was just the Lord preparing me. I needed more. I needed something different. I needed to be able to have somewhere to put that time and energy that I've spent in raising her, and naturally blend the two for a few years so that when she transitions out, I'll have more time to spend here. It was just kind of a neat thing where he's preparing. But talking about how it's blended into my work, I was thinking this morning when I first started at AT&T versus now, and how my faith at work is different. I remember many years ago when I first started, I was fresh out of college. I had been, grown up in a Christian home with a great support system. I went to college on a Christian scholarship through Chick-fil-A. I had a very sheltered life. So I show up in the corporate world, and I met someone for the first time, really, who said, "Yeah, I don't believe in God. I don't know why y'all think there's more than this, and I'm not interested. It bothered me. I could not believe someone said it out loud, and then I realized that that's not unusual for people who didn't grow up like I did. And there's a lot more people like that than we realize. I had an opportunity, and it's my first awkward conversation, I think, Justin, in that world. That person had some things happen in their life, and I just felt prompted that I needed to go and make sure they knew that if they wanted to talk about the Lord, I was available. Yeah. I said no for several days in a row, and then finally, the Lord's like, you're going. And so I did. I went by his desk, and I was like, hey, listen, I understand how you feel. If you ever change your mind or would like to talk about the Lord, I would really like to have that conversation. And he was like, okay, great. It didn't really go anywhere until a couple of years later. He came up to my desk and he said, hey, you asked me one time about why I felt the way I did about the Lord and why I didn't believe or something like that. He said, I just wanted to let you know that I've got that settled now. The Lord and I have worked that out, and I'm settled. So I am so appreciative of the gift that the Lord gave me to get to see having that awkward conversation led to him seeking. And we haven't stayed in touch. I don't know where he went from there, but I felt like planting that seed and having that awkward conversation made a difference in his life.
Yeah.
So,
April, sometimes I think we are fearful to have those conversations because we're worried about how they might respond in the moment. Mm-hmm. Right? Are they going to be receptive in the moment? Are they going to reject it in the moment? And a lot of times the answer is yeah. They are going to reject it in the moment. They're not going to accept it. But what you said, years later, he is replaying that in his mind. He has remembered that for all this time. And it just goes back to the idea that Paul writes about. There's some people that plant, there's some people that water, but God is the one who gives the growth. Right. And so I think our primary concern just needs to be, Lord, would you just give me the opportunity, help me to be faithful, not only in sharing, but God, just help me to be faithful to remember that, God, whatever happens because of my obedience is completely up to you. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to cause me to waver at all in that obedience. But I love hearing stories like that. It's awesome.
We're not responsible for the outcome.
Right.
That takes the pressure off.
Just responsible for obedience.
Yep. Yeah. Because that's the obedience that we have with God. Now, April, you talked about this, I think earlier you said it was like 1995.
Yes.
And so that was an awkward conversation then. Mm-hmm. Have you gotten better at awkward conversations?
Yeah. Really, I want to encourage those of you who have never done it before or are afraid to have the conversations. It gets easier the more that you do it. So, it's been a long time and a lot of growth. That's 30 years ago. So plenty of opportunity for the Lord to work on my heart and help me and prepare me. But I had a conversation just earlier this month. I sat down at dinner with clients and coworkers, and there were 5 people at the table. 4 of them I'd never met before. And by the end of that 3-hour dinner, I could not wait to ask them where they stood with Jesus. And I didn't, we started the conversation with the one person I knew at the table who knew me, looked at me and he said, aren't you going to bless the food? And he's not a strong believer. He just knows that's what I do. So we started with the blessing, and then we just had conversations about whatever, life, and several of these individuals shared their hurts, their church hurts, their family hurts, their religion hurts. And I tried to just listen and not share much, but it was so great at the end of the night to be able to say, okay, after all that you've shared with all that you've been through, where do you stand with Jesus now? How do you feel? Do you still consider yourself a believer? And I wasn't nervous at all. I was so excited to get to have that conversation. So if you've never had these conversations, please start. And it's going to be awkward and really you're not going to want to do it. But if you will step into what the Lord is asking you to do, then it becomes exciting because you get to share a gift with them that we have, and the only way they are going to know is if someone like you is bold enough to share.
That's great.
April, I was reading something this week, and I'd never heard somebody put it like this, but I just thought, man, that is so good. So a lot of times when we're thinking about sharing our faith or our beliefs with people, it is really popular right now, this phrase of, well, we should have a relationship with them first, and then we should step into talking with them about Jesus. The problem is that sounds like a really good idea. It's just not God's idea. It's not a biblical idea. I mean, Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch who we talked about, did Philip know him prior? Absolutely not. According to the scriptures, does Philip have any follow-up conversation with him? Nope. It was a one-on-one stranger encounter. And so this idea of, I have to develop a relationship with them first, and then I'll share Jesus. It sounds like a good idea. It's just not biblical. And the person that I was listening to talk about this, he asked a question, and I just thought, that is such a good question. He said, just play this out with me. He said, play this out that you're friends with this person for a year, right? So, April, pretend that you're working with somebody, and you don't have that conversation at dinner, but you go to them a year after you've gotten to know them. You share the faith with them. You share the most important part of your life with them, and then it becomes the most important part of their life. And this guy asked the question, how is that person going to feel knowing that you waited a whole year to share the most important part of your life and their life with them? And I think a lot of times, we might say that as a good idea, and that's really just fear wearing a noble cloak on us. And so I would just encourage you, man, open your mouth so that people might know who he is.
I think rather than using the excuse of, no, I need to have a relationship with them before I share things with them. It's more of an approach of, no, we just need to have a relationship style conversation. It's not me talking at me, sharing at someone, but no, we're just I would talk to a friend. That's how we need to do it. But too often what you're saying is true. We're just, I got to get to know them. Right. I got to build rapport with them. And then after all that, then the door will open. No, the door's been open since the first time you talk to them.
Right.
You just have to step through it.
As if their reception of the gospel has anything to do with me and my personality.
Right.
I mean, ultimately, it might in the presentation. Justin, I think you bring a good point of don't talk at them, talk to them. Right. That's good. But y'all, the enemy's sneaky. He's sneaky.
Well, it's much easier when your faith is a defining characteristic of the relationship from the beginning. That makes your conversations later, it makes the things they observe about your life that much more impactful. You say man, a year later, why didn't you tell me this?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that scares me. Why didn't you see it? You weren't living in a way that they would even ask, why do you live in the way that you live? You live with this hope in this world of hopelessness.
Yeah. Another good point that got brought up, and I had never thought about it before, we all have really good friends in our lives. And this sounds strange, but it's true. Even amongst our really good friends, we can still have barriers up with them. We're not going to share things with our really good friends, but man, we'll share things with a stranger. And a stranger will share things with us. And so waiting to take a gospel conversation, sometimes we can think, man, we're breaking down those barriers, but really you're adding to them. Just go at it from the gate.
Yeah, Justin, I like what you just said about approaching the conversation with a relational style. I have found that when I interact with people, and I didn't always do this, and I don't always do it now, but when I slow down enough to have a real conversation and approach anyone I'm talking to, whether is someone that's answered the phone from a call center for an insurance company or the person that's checking us out at the Dollar Tree, if we just say, hey, how are you today? And connect with them as a real person, it is always appreciated. And I think it can be that simple. Just start with truly, genuinely care about them as a human being, start a conversation, and let's see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Our students right now, just with everything going on in the world, they are super burdened about just their time with people and, dealing with lostness. And so we had a panel Wednesday night, and one of the common questions that they asked was, how do we share our faith with our friends? And I tell them the same thing every time. We need to start by making Jesus contagious. A lot of times we can go into those conversations and think that we need to be corrective. I said, but instead just sit down with them and say, can I tell you what the Lord's been doing in my life, and rattle it off, and then ask the question, if you could see the Lord do one thing in your life, what would it be? and then start praying for that with them, and follow up with them. And you'll be surprised how many times the Lord meets us right in the middle of our prayers to prove to somebody, I am the God of the universe. I hear you.
Yeah.
I see you.
I think something like I gave those tools on Sunday, like the 3 circles and a 15-second testimony. But if the moment that you saw someone, if you just walked up and just started drawing on a napkin, and not like, so this is God's design right here,
Yeah.
like that would not land. And I think we're not salespeople. God is the one who makes the
April
growth.
is. April's a
Sorry, she is a salesperson. Sorry, but we aren't. And with the gospel, we're called to share it, not to sell someone
Right.
it. Like they don't have to buy in, because that's what the Holy Spirit does. He convicts, and we just share.
The biggest thing that people can't refute in your life is what God's done.
That's right.
And that's what God calls us to do. Like, reveal me in your life so that people see a real live, building of faith, building of courage. How did you get to that point? Because the world all around us is searching for hope. Mm-hmm. Why do Christians react to things differently when tragedy comes or horrible things happen? Where are you finding this hope? And that's such a great conversation, Michael. I was thinking about those kids that were asking that last week. Like, we have to live as Christians with a hope. We can't be defeated by the things that are around us. We have to stand strong on our faith. We have to show people we live different. We're not thrown by the waves. We're not blown by the wind. We stand firm in what Christ has built in us because we trust him. And I think for me, the biggest change that came, and I was a teenager when this happened. I remember asking the Lord, like, give me love for people in general. Because if you don't, you may say, like, I don't care to have a relationship with people. Like, why do I want to interact with everybody that I see in a relational way? Well, I think that's something that you can pray to God about. Like, God, let me love people like you love people. Not based on what I see, what I hear, or experience, but let me love people based on, I love this person because their soul matters, their salvation matters, and teach me how to talk to them relationally so that they can experience your love as well.
Yeah, and I think that's something that missions and being more involved with missions has really helped me see, Josh. Growing up, I was around a lot of people like me. And it would be very easy now to stay around a lot of people like me that, are in the same walk of life and go to church with us or work with me or,
It's comfortable.
So it's very comfortable. And that's the beauty of missions is it allows us to see people as human beings. You're either saved or not saved. You're all human beings. And some of these mission projects that we do allow us to be around people very different from us that I would have no other way to do. And I love the fact that AJ has grown up serving people that are not like us. And so now she's not afraid. When she sees somebody that's a different walk of life, she's not afraid of them. Her first thought is they're just different. But we all have the same need. And I think that's where we have the commonality that we can sometimes share that allows us to relate is sometimes share what's hard for us. We don't need to look like we have it all together.
We're not perfect.
We just have hope. Like you said, we have the hope in Christ, but we have our own struggles as well, and we just know where to turn to when we have those struggles to help get back to the foundation of Christ.
One of the things we divulged, I guess is the word, on Sunday is Kevin gave us a little bit more insight on our Cadiz campus, the upcoming Cadiz campus. And Justin and I were talking on Monday morning because we always try to pick a great quote to post on our social media from that Sunday. And I want to clear up some confusion that may be out there.
Yeah.
On that prayer card that you guys got as you left, and what was said in the message was, not everybody is called to go, but everybody's called to pray. Do not get that confused. Now, we are talking specifically with the Cadiz campus. Everybody is called to go. That is the call of Jesus Christ on everybody's life that calls him Lord. Now, when we look at the Cadiz campus, it's right in our backyard. What excites me is that we're going to plant this place in Cadiz, and we're going to be able to see people we know, that we work with, that know our kids or know our parents or however it is, have interacted with us, and we get to spread the gospel in a place that is just right down the road. And so I hope that people are praying this week. Take it seriously. Get that card out. Maybe you forgot about it. Maybe it's in your car. Put it in a prominent place. If you have kids, like, actually pray about it. What is my involvement with the Cadiz campus? Because this is a great opportunity to just expand our reach, basically arm's length, like right out our back door. And I'm super excited about the campus and just being able to take new work to a place that is just right down the road where we get to connect with people and hopefully impact a community like Hopkinsville has impacted.
Yeah. Could I share one of my 90 seconds of courage stories real quick?
Yes.
So this is actually, I think, the first one that was super important in my life that I remember. And it happened when I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and we went on a mission trip to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we were in the streets of downtown Charlotte, and our mission there was we were going to pray over people as they walked by, try to talk to them about the gospel, and hand them a Bible if they wanted one. And when we got there, no one was doing anything. Like, my entire youth group was all standing around, and everyone looked terrified. Like, they were like, "Oh, I don't want to go, don't want to do this." And I remember literally thinking to myself, okay, God, one person goes and does it, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to go do it. Like, I'm going to go pray with them. I'll do it. Like, I'll go. And then it hit me. I'm the oldest guy here in my youth group. They're all looking at me. They're all looking to someone else thinking the exact same thing. And we can all get so caught up like, God, you send one person, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're that one person. We're the one meant to start it, and I realized that in that moment, like, no, these are literally like the those in the youth group that are looking up to me, and these other like younger guys. And so I was just like, all right, I guess I'm going to do it. And it's not always pretty. It's not easy, and it's not perfect. But God doesn't call for us to do everything right or be perfect when we share.
One of the things that, since I have kids, that I want to instill in them is that readiness and willingness to go when God calls. Mm-hmm. And now, I'm on staff at Newark Fellowship, so essentially it's part of my job to be a part of the Cadiz campus, but I'm so excited just to give my kids the opportunity to go themselves. Mm-hmm. And, I was thinking, like, what is my family's strategy to being involved in Cadiz? I don't feel like we're called to be there every Sunday. That's something we're praying through, but what does it look like to do one Sunday a month? What if I just go over there and decide I'm going to worship with the Cadiz campus? And honestly, we're not going to start with 4 services there. So you could probably hit both locations if you wanted to. You could be still involved in your small group at Hopkinsville's campus. You could still go to worship at Hopkinsville's campus, but you can still be a part of what Cadiz is doing. So begin praying, what is God calling me to do with this? Not everybody is called to go to Cadiz campus, but praying is what we all are needing to do in this moment. But I want to go ahead and move on. We've talked your ear off this morning or evening, whenever you're listening. But like I said, we are finishing up the membership series, and we're stepping into a new series coming up this Sunday, and we're considering it our family series. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be focused on families, but there's a little bit of a twist to it. It's called Wrecked Yet Renewed. Mm-hmm. So things that can wreck our faith, wreck our families, but how God renews those and redeems those. This Sunday we're talking about deception and how that entered into the equation with sin, and it's going to be maybe a little bit heavier of a series because of just the subject matter, but in the end, we see how families are messy. We see how God doesn't turn away even in the mess, but instead he sends hope. And so the end of all of this is that we find healing in the deception, in the fear, in the uncertainty of life, and we find God on the other side of all of it. We have to trust him.
Absolutely. He can work some beautiful stories.
Yep. Speaking of stories, did you know there's a button at the bottom, or a link at the bottom of the podcast every single week that says you can connect with us? We love when you guys send in stuff because we can respond to that. We know that you're listening. I think this is a really practical time that you can think about maybe your 90 seconds of awkward conversation. When did you realize that God was giving you the courage to step out of your comfort zone and share the love of Jesus with those around you? I would love for you to click on that hyperlink so that you can fill out that form and we can see what God's doing in your life and celebrate that with you. We may not say your name, we may not say the situation exactly, but we want to hear from you, and hopefully we can connect better with you each and every week, because that's the point of the Beyond Sunday podcast. We want to connect with your Sundays and meet you right in the middle of the week. But April, thank you for joining us today. If you could give one statement to a person that is maybe questioning, how can I get involved in the missions at Newark Fellowship? I'll give you 2 sentences. What's 2 sentences that you would tell them?
Number 1 would be go to the Church Center app.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's very practical.
Absolutely. The other would be ask the Lord. He will put people and activities and scripture in your life that will help direct you on where you need to go. There are missions opportunities all over, and it sounds scary until you do it, and then it becomes contagious, and you're going to want to bring your friends and family. So jump right in.
Yeah, I mean, we sound like a broken record sometimes, but I think the best way to jump into missions is probably through a small group.
Yes.
I mean, every single small group that we have has a missions, what do we call them?
Mission coordinator.
Mission coordinator.
Yep.
That they basically partner with you, April, to figure out what our local mission partners need. Mm-hmm. And they are meeting practical needs. It's not like we're going to go paint a building that's been painted a bunch of times. No, we're interacting with people each and every time we go out and do missions. And so jump into a small group, and that hits 2 of our mission statement things: the growing and the going.
Absolutely. Yes. If you can do things as simple as bring canned foods. You can show up and help assemble a casserole. You can bring sweatpants for the school systems. There's so many easy, practical things, and then you can know that you've been a part of the overall mission of the church.
Absolutely. We're praying for you guys. Thank you for listening. Guys, thanks for joining us around the table for the podcast today. They're still here. I promise they're still here. They're just quiet.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Thanks for joining us, April.
Bye.
Love being here. Have a great week.
See y'all.